Hi, welcome to our Wednesday night angel party. I'm Laura Lee Potvin, for those of you that don't know me. I have been working in the light work field for, when was my calling into it? Probably about 12 years ago. I'm actually a registered nurse. I'm also a psychic, a medium, medical intuitive, and after tomorrow, I have graduated also as a crystal Reiki master too. So lots of exciting things happening. So welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here as my crazy animals. I live in a house with a zoo. Those of you that have met me before, been around. My cat loves Chris. I'm going to call you out here, Chris Hoffman. My cat Socks loves Chris Hoffman when he goes live. He literally parks himself right in front of my iPad and he won't move. I've even videotaped it because I thought he's never going to believe me. So what we do on our Wednesday nights here is we usually have a little bit of a teaching session and then we get into the readings. And what I've been working totally with Spirit about this. And they've asked me to start sort of at the bottom because we've got people from all different levels. And we're going to be building your psychic toolbox. I'm going to be teaching you some things that I've sort of learned over the years, have adapted. I'll give you the principle and I'm going to encourage you to adapt it to what works for you guys. So just let me stop before I get started and say hi to everybody. Hang on. Let me see. Usually I'm dressed up, but it's so hot here. And my business is actually called the Angel Rock. And the reason why, and I can explain that while I'm looking through here, is because I love skulls. I'm not a goth chick. I just love them, including crystal skulls. I love rock music and I love crystals. And I love angels. I work with angels. So that was the name I came up with. So I figured I might as well be true to form tonight. So let me say hi. Who do we miss here? Hi, Jeremy. Welcome. Jennifer, I think I said hi. What time is it where I am? It is 11:17 Eastern Standard Time, so PM. I'm a night owl. Let me see. Hi. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's wintertime over there, isn't it, Adele? She's in Australia. Thank you, Jennifer. Hi. I think I said hi, Cheryl, but hi, Helen. Welcome. You missed Socks. Well, he was just on here. That was part of the reason why I was behind. It's like, you guys, get off of here. You must have known you were going to be here, Chris, because you wouldn't leave off the table. Hi, Kamutha. Welcome. And Heather Geimer. And Chris Hoyle, welcome for anybody that's new here tonight. I'm so glad you're here. So as always, I work with Spirit and ask them, where should we go with our psychic toolbox? I have a plan and then I usually go into a meditation. I shouldn't say I usually do, I always do. And I say, what are we gonna deal with tonight? What would you like me to talk about? And there's two things. One of them will be practical, but the other one I hope will be very encouraging for you. And it was a little bit of a revelation. I am still learning about astrology and the energies with the moon and things like that. I really believe in that, even though I come from a science background. And my vision is, I hope one day that still in my lifetime, that it's an accepted practice to start teaching children almost right from birth that everything is made up of energy. But I'm noticing a lot of people are having a lot of chaos with these eclipses coming up and a lot going on. And I had a real wake-up thing happen actually yesterday, and it's with Megan Rounds, and I want to share this with you. I was a guest on her show when she had it in the lab light room. I want to get the names right. And I had to write her up some information about myself. This was 3 months ago. And the reason, and I'm not sharing this to brag in any way, there's no ego, but I'm going to give you a little exercise I want you guys to do. And I'm going to be on there in the next couple of weeks. Maybe, I know what the date is. I think it's this, yeah, it is. It's this Saturday. I got to count my days here. I was out of town. And she said, Laura, can you take a look at this and update this? And as I did, there were so many things I had forgotten that have changed, that have improved, that I guess what I'm trying to say here is I would love to give you guys this challenge, if you'll hang in here with me. Call it your spiritual time capsule. If you write down where you are right now, no judgment whatsoever, things that you know how to do, maybe you're new at this, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to know more about? How do you want to maybe connect better with spirit? Do you want to learn some new techniques? Have you been maybe wanting to learn how to use cards? All kinds of things like that. And then tuck it away in a safe place. I'm going to mark this date down. That was part of my writing down, but I want to highlight it for it. So we have still July the 18th. I will figure out the date 3 months from now, and I would love to hear where you guys are. And the reason why I'm giving you this challenge is you are going to be shocked when you look back, unless you're somebody that journals every day. But this is basically celebrating where you are right now, listing any goals, and again, no judgment. If you don't get there, even the progress that you make, I guarantee you it will be so encouraging and so positive for you guys. So I'd love to hear about it. I hope some of you are in. Hang on, I'm going to read what somebody said, something about crazy fast. I hope I'm not talking too fast. I was listening to tunes, getting all pumped up here, so I'm all hyper. Hi, Chandra. I'll see who I didn't miss here before we get into the teaching part. You literally told someone you're a night owl. Everybody, well, the only one that's not is my youngest son, Justin, but the rest of us are. So you love that, Chris? Awesome. You've been telling them you have to do automatic writing. Yes, I know Chandra well. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to call her out. She's one of my best friends, and you know what? I know she'll see a huge change herself too, because I know her well. I've known her for a while. Hi, Lindsay. Welcome. So how about we mark this day? I'm going to do it too. I actually have to update it anyway, so I had to go through it. And Spirit said, why don't you share this? This is so encouraging, because so many people, especially, you know, when we're trying to connect with Spirit, it's very overwhelming. And I can even say this from even when I was a nurse and I was going to school, and I'd have a preceptor when I'd be working in the hospital as a student nurse, and I'd be, how do you know all this stuff? Like, how did you learn this? Like, how did you get so good at this? Or, you know, or you'd see somebody up doing a live, even readings or whatever, and it's like, well, how do I get to that spot? How do I do that? And then sometimes we hit these periods, you know, life happens, and we think, oh, nothing's gone good. Everything's not working out well. I've made no progress. And then you know what happens when you write it down like this? You're going to be shocked. So I hope that helps you guys. Don't want to miss anybody. Okay, so what else Spirit wanted me to talk to you about, and just as a quick review, excuse me, I just moved into the lab a couple weeks ago. I used to be on Friday nights in the lab light room, but our first night we did readings and sort of talked about some goals for this space. Then the next week I talked to you about, I'm trying to put this in proper perspective. I talked to you about how to set up a shield that was made from love. So especially if you're an empath, and we're not coming from a fear-based perspective, we're coming from a place of love. There's nothing to fear. We're connected to Spirit all the time, our higher selves. And if you miss that, this is usually how I've been trying to set this space up. The first, say, 15, 20 minutes, a little bit of teaching, and then we get into the good. I'm not going to say the good stuff, it's all good, but I know all of you love to get readings. I've been with the lab since it opened. I always look forward to that part too. Sorry. And last week, I actually was going to teach you guys this technique I'm going to share with you, and Spirit asked me to change my direction with it. So it's a little bit what we might call more ethereal, that really talking about a lot of higher concepts, but it was talking about celebrating who you are, your journey, even though we're all connected, we all have our own paths. So if you get a chance and you miss that, please, I welcome you to go back and have a quick look. So tonight, I'm going to give you another technique, and it's so funny because they will know who they are. They just messaged me before this and said, oh my gosh, this would be great to make a video about, and sure enough, I'd already planned to teach this tonight. I always believe there's no coincidences. Everything just falls into place as it needs to. So what this technique is, it's a little bit of a combination. I always give, sorry, I got a dog here. I always give credit where credit is due. So what it is it's a technique I first learned. It's called grounding and gritting. And this is a practice, I'm going to be really honest with you, I really felt when I sort of worked it in with things that work for myself, and I'm going to build that into this lesson so you can work into things that work for you. It opened my gifts up, just blew them wide open. So where I first learned this technique, I was taking a course with Lauren Antifermo. It was called her Body of Light course. You ever get a chance to take it, it's fantastic. This was one of the techniques that she taught us, but I worked with Spirit, and for me, I changed it a little bit, and I'm going to share this with you. The other little second piece that I add on to this, I was working with a mediumship mentor for probably about 6 months out of Los Angeles. I'm up in Northwestern Ontario, Thunder Bay, Canada. And I kind of incorporated the two of them together. So it's going to sound a lot longer to explain, but this is something that Lauren taught us in her course, was to do this when you get up in the morning. If you don't have time, while you're brushing your teeth, whatever you are, whenever you remember, the best is when you first get up. But I know people's lives are busy, and I'm just going to be honest with you, that's what I've done with it. If I had to jump out of bed, had a minute standing wherever, because it doesn't take that long. So I'm going to walk you guys through this. So we're going to take a couple deep breaths. I'll explain how we're going to do this. We're going to breathe in through your nose. Hold it for about the count of 4. Sorry, breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it for about the count of 6 to 7, whatever's comfortable for you. And then breathe out for at least a count of 4. And I apologize, I have to grab a glass of water. I can't put it up here ahead of time because I have 2 kittens and 2 cats that love to spill it all over the electronics. The kitchen's right here. I'll be 2 seconds, guys. Where's my phone? Here we go. See, I got my water in the fridge. Believe it or not, guys, I should ask you this too before I start. I hope my volume's okay. If you guys can give me some hearts, that would be great, please, because I know some people were having a few problems, just a few. I don't know if it was connection or what it was, so can you hear me okay? So if you can, even just perfect. Thank you. This is not Kool-Aid. I actually take fresh cut up fruit or frozen, and I put it in one of the strainers in cold water, and I put it in the fridge. Because I'm not a great water drinker, and that's so important, especially when we're working with Spirit. We run a lot of energy. So now I found I really love it this way. Excuse me as I mess my mouth. Okay, so to continue. So we're going to take a couple deep breaths in through our nose for the count of 4. Hold it for whatever's comfortable, but if you can hold it up to the count of 6 or 7, I'll count you through it, and then we're going to breathe out. Okay, so let's get started. Get in a comfy place if you can. If you can have your feet resting on the floor. If you, shoes on, shoes off, whatever works best for you. So we're going to take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. Okay, we're going to do that again. If you can count in your head, that would be great, because I'm finding it hard to talk to you while I'm doing it, and I want to walk you guys through this so you can see what it looks like. So one more deep breath, in for the count of 4, through your nose. Hold for about the count of 6 or 7. And then out through your mouth. Do one more time. In through your nose, count of 4. Hold for about the count of 6 or 7. And then we're going to breathe out through your mouth. Excuse me. You can have your eyes closed. It's easier, but if you need them open, that's fine too. I'm going to keep my eyes closed because we're going to be doing some visualizing. And I still use some of the techniques that I first taught you about with this bubble of love when you go out, or shield of love. So what I want you to do while you're sitting here relaxed, and again, feet on the ground, is I want you to imagine somebody that you love. Somebody, something, could be a pet, could be a child, could be a parent, could be anybody, your partner. And I want you to focus on that love again. We're going to deal with your heart chakra, which is one of the 7 energy centers that runs through our bodies. And I want you to picture that love all around where your heart would be on the left-hand side. And continuing remembering to breathe. And as you're picturing who you love, picture a color that makes you feel absolutely fantastic. Energizes you, makes you feel safe, warm, you love it. So picture that while you're picturing the person you love, and imagine that color getting bigger and brighter in your chest. It's going to start to grow. As it does, I'll open my eyes while I'm talking to you. As it does, I want you to first picture it traveling up through your chest, all the way out through your shoulders. You run out through your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. Okay? And then we're still going to continue with it. It's still in the center of our chest. We're then going to run that beautiful color. You can picture it any color, sparkling, beautiful, anything you want, any shape. We're going to be running that color all the way up through the top of our chest, our neck, all the way through the top of our head, right through to our top chakra here on the top that is called the crown chakra. And then we're going to picture it running up in a column of light. So still continue with the color, but it'll be like it's a flashlight if you want behind it with light. And you're going to picture that column going up as high, as high, as high, as high as you want until you connect with who you believe your higher power is, whether that may be the universe, God, could be source energy, whatever you believe. Now that you've hooked in up there, you've still got that color in the middle of our chest. Okay, same thing with that love that we've represented that color with. We're now going to picture that color, excuse me, it's going to start to travel down our rib cages, and it's going to grow and expand. It's going to fill our whole body. As it's going down, it's going to go through your hips. It's going to go all the way down your legs to your knees. It's going to go all the way down to your ankles and your feet. As the color gets to the bottom of your feet, I want you to picture. You can picture roots. You can picture anything that you can imagine would be kind of twisty and turny. I use the roots because we're going to be connecting with somebody very special at the center of the earth. So with grounding, I always love to use the picture of tree roots. Make them as twisty and bendy, as big, strong as you want. As these roots are going out through the bottom of your feet, you're going to be imagining them stretching and growing and intertwining with the earth all the way through till you get to the center of the earth. When you get there, you're going to meet Gaia. And Gaia is the archangel that is Earth. Or you might have heard of her as Mother Nature. She is the caretaker for this earthly plane right here. So when you meet up with her, you're going to get those roots and you're going to get them wrapped all around her and connect with her heart chakra where her heart is. So the love that you imagined way up there that traveled all the way through your body, all through those beautiful twisty roots, you reached down to Mother Gaia, you've embraced her with these roots of yours, and then just imagine them connecting. You want, they just lock on, whatever you want, use your imagination. You can have a little chat with her while you're down there, see if she's got any messages for you, see what she has to say. And then, once you've had as long as you might want to have with her, sitting and chatting, she's now going to send you all her love from her heart chakra. And she's going to be sending it all the way up the same pathway that I just described to you. While that happens, okay, you've all connected now. You've run up through your feet, your knees, your legs, your hips, your trunk, or your abdomen. It's all the way up through your heart, bypassing all the way through your arms and your shoulders, up through your neck, connecting back up with source energy. So if you really want to think about it already, you're connected already up to spirit. You connected that energy, and you're connected firmly. You're grounded on this earthly plane, and you also have the love, the safety, the security and the support of Mother Gaia, Gaia, Mother Earth, just the earth itself. The second part of this that I've added, so you got crazy hair with the humidity, is there's another chakra that we have called our root chakra. This is the chakra that is represented usually by the color red. It also is the one that is, to oversimplify, it's the one that's there for safety, security, and our basic needs. So if you want, it's usually located around in the front. We have chakras in the front and the back that correlate. So we're going to be moving around now to the back of your body where your tailbone is. Okay? I want you to imagine, you can imagine a fishing line. I like to imagine the most beautiful but most powerful silvery white ribbon, and you're going to connect that to your tailbone. So you're just, and this is all being done with your imagination. So you're going to connect this with your tailbone. You're going to do the same process. You still got that love all running through your body now from Gaia as well, from your own heart. And you're going to be running it all the way down to the ground. Again, it can twist all in with your little roots that you've already connected. And basically what you're going to do is, you've already met Gaia, you're going to connect to her root chakra. Maybe she looks like a tree. Doesn't matter. You can just visually, or sorry, you can say it within your own mind. I'm going to connect my root chakra to the earth, Gaia, whatever word you want to use. Again, once we get to her root chakra, or just attached wherever you want your root chakra to be attached, she's then going to send all her safety, security, and love up through this special cord that you've connected with her. It's going to be coming up through the roots already that you've imagined, through your feet, and also through this cord. Running all the way through your body, like we've just discussed again, up through, right through your crown chakra, back up to spirit connection. Now this sounds like it's going to take a super long time. I don't have time to run 10 minutes like this. I hear you. But when you get up in the morning, and the reason why I was pretty, I don't want to use the word flexible, but not giving you a lot of definite instruction, I want you to use your imagination. So once you try this a couple times, every morning's really great. Sometimes, from what I learned from Lauren, and it's become actually true for myself, after you do this for a while, like 6 months, it becomes a habit by then. But the really cool thing about spirit that I've learned is, once you get familiar with the technique, because it literally only takes 30 seconds. I wanted to explain it really well to you. But once you get really familiar with spirit, really familiar with this technique I've just taught you, pick a word to represent it. It can be anything you want. It could be pickles if you want it. It doesn't matter. It's a word that's relevant to you. And once you say that word with the intention, say pickles, then what I'm trying to say to you is you can set that whole process to that word. So you get up in the morning and you say pickles, and you know that word is directly connected. The intention has been set to run this whole grounding and gridding process for you. It becomes very quick. It's also very helpful to do grounding and gridding because the earth loves to support us. It loves to soak up, say we're having stress, we're having a lot of those lower vibrational energies or emotions, say anger, upset, crying, sadness, anything like that. Or say you're at work and it's chaotic and you just feel like you can't even catch your breath. If you can stop for a minute and take a quick breath, that's why I was suggesting this word. Just gotta think of the word. It doesn't have to be pickles, by the way. I was using a crazy word. You can use whatever word you want. Or you can run that whole grounding process. Take a quick bathroom break or something, run it, and then run all that stress that you're feeling, all this chaos, run it all through your body, through your feet, down into the ground, because that's the wonderful thing about our earth is it's designed that way to transmute all that energy, that lower vibrational energy, into high energy for our whole planet. Helps feed our plants, anything like that. So that's the way it's designed. And the more often that we do the grounding and gridding, especially when we're at work, like I say, or you're on the computer a lot, because that can affect your root chakra, believe it or not. Those kind of things, like I said, helps transmute it. And for any of you that have ever taken science, even, I don't know what grade, they change the curriculum all the time. I know, I think I took it in 6th or 7th grade, that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So you're going to have all that energy, all that chaos, all that stress at work. Send it down into the ground. Gaia, Earth, whatever. I always try to be very careful with the words I use. Loves this kind of energy. And it's our whole system in 3D, which is where we live right now with this Earth, is designed to work that way. Same as we're designed to be running energy from source energy through our higher self, through the crown, all the way through our body. These are the kind of things we're going to get into. Does anybody have any questions? And I know that sounds a bit complicated. If you get a chance to replay this, I'm also going to do a YouTube video on this. I'm thinking, it was actually the suggestion of somebody that just emailed or just messaged me before the live tonight, is possibly doing this with a child. So it'd be really simple, using their imagination and teaching this with you again so you can walk through this process. It'll go really quickly, and I'd love to hear in the next coming weeks how this works for you. If it's been helpful for you at all. I'm just going to go through the comments, and I'd love to hear some of the things that you guys have come up with if you're comfortable sharing. This is a safe, loving space, and I love to hear when people use their imaginations, because that's one of the biggest things when we want to make these connections to spirit. We're all able to do it. That's the reason why children don't have any problems with it. They've got a vivid, vast imagination, and they haven't been tainted with that, haven't been told yet, well, that doesn't exist, oh, that's silly, we don't do those things. They don't have any of those blockages or impingements that we do as adults, so they're really free. That's why they can see spirit well, and they can connect really well.